Every single one of us is born with potential, but potential is not destiny. You can have a seed in your hand and still starve to death if you never plant it. God has a plan for your life, but here's the truth: a plan not chosen remains only a possibility. The tragedy of life is not death, it's living without ever becoming who you were meant to be. Today, I want to challenge you to put your future self first, because the decisions you make today are writing the biography your grandchildren will read tomorrow. God has a plan for your life. But you must understand something very important. His plan is not automatic. It is not autopilot. It does not unfold just because you exist. Think about a blueprint for a magnificent building. The architect has already drawn it. Every detail is there. The foundation, the windows, the electrical wiring, the finishing touches, it's all mapped out. But have you ever seen a building rise from the ground just because the blueprint existed? Of course not. A blueprint sitting in a drawer builds nothing. A plan sitting in your mind transforms nothing. The blueprint only becomes reality when someone picks it up, studies it, and decides to build. That's how your life works. God has already mapped out your purpose, your potential, your destiny. He's already designed the impact you are supposed to have, the wealth you are supposed to create, the people you are supposed to influence, the future you are supposed to live in. But if you never choose to align your daily choices with that plan, you will die with nothing more than an unbuilt blueprint. Many people are frustrated because they are waiting for life to change. They are praying for transformation. They are hoping for breakthrough. They are wishing for success. But wishing is not building. A person can stare at blueprints for 10 years and still live in an empty lot. Some of you have been staring at your future for too long without laying a single brick. You know you're supposed to start that business, but you haven't. You know you're supposed to finish that degree, but you've delayed it for years. You know you're supposed to write that book, but you keep saying, one day. My friend, one day is the enemy of destiny. The blueprint is waiting, but you must choose it. Imagine two people standing in front of the same blueprint for a dream house. One person says, "This is beautiful," and puts it back in the drawer. The other person says, "This is mine," and gets to work buying the land, laying the foundation, pouring the cement, sweating through the hard work. Years later, the second person is living inside the dream house while the first person is still dreaming. Which one are you? This is why so many people die full of potential. They had the plan but never built it. They had the vision but never made the choice. God will not force your hand. Life will not drag you into destiny. You must decide. Every single day, you must look at the blueprint of who you are meant to be and choose to act on it. Look around your daily life. You want a healthier body, but you refuse to pick up the blueprint called discipline. You want financial freedom, but you won't pick up the blueprint called budgeting and consistency. You want peace in your home, but you won't pick up the blueprint called forgiveness and communication. You see, the plan is there, but if you never build it, you will live in frustration. Think about a seed. Inside one apple seed is a whole orchard. God put the plan for hundreds of apples inside that one seed. But if you hold the seed in your hand and admire it, nothing happens. You could frame it, polish it, even preach about it, yet it remains just a seed. It is only when you plant it, water it, and nurture it that it becomes what it was designed to be. Some of you are holding the seed of your destiny and complaining that nothing is changing. Seeds don't grow in your hand. They only grow in the soil of daily decisions. And let me tell you something even deeper. If you refuse to pick up the blueprint, someone else will build their own plan with your time. If you don't use your day intentionally, somebody else's agenda will. That's why you must wake up with urgency. You cannot treat your life casually, because casual living produces casualties. The plan is available, but wasted time is wasted destiny. So you must ask yourself every morning, am I building or am I waiting? Because the truth is, waiting is easier than working. Waiting feels safe. Waiting feels comfortable, but waiting is silent suicide. Every day you refuse to build, your future self pays the price. Every day you choose excuses over execution, you are tearing down the very house you were supposed to live in. Your future self is not some distant, imaginary version of you. It is as real as the breath in your lungs right now. That person already exists in potential, waiting for you to either prepare the way or abandon them. The truth is simple but uncomfortable. Your present decisions are either honoring your future self or betraying them. Think about it. The body you will have 10 years from now is being built with every meal you eat today, every workout you do or skip today, every hour of sleep you respect or sacrifice tonight. 10 years from now, your body will tell the story of your daily choices, whether you like it or not. Your future self is screaming, "Please take care of me today so I don't have to suffer tomorrow." Your bank account 5 years from now is not determined in 5 years. It is being shaped today with every dollar you spend, every impulse you control or indulge, every investment you make or avoid. That dream of financial freedom is not waiting on a miracle, it's waiting on discipline. Imagine your future self walking into a bank and either smiling with gratitude for your wise decisions or shaking their head with regret because you chose instant pleasure over long-term stability. Your relationships tomorrow are being crafted right now. With every word you speak, every moment you choose to listen or dismiss, every ounce of respect you show or withhold. Think about your spouse 10 years from now. They will either feel cherished because of the way you honor them in small daily choices, or they will feel neglected because you ignored the little moments. The future is not some mysterious fog. It is the harvest of your present seeds. Picture this: two people standing in a buffet line. One says, "I deserve to indulge today. One plate won't matter." The other says, "I am not eating for today. I am eating for the person I want to be 10 years from now." 10 years later, one is battling health issues while the other is running marathons. What made the difference? Not a single day, but thousands of small, invisible, daily decisions. That is the secret most people ignore. Destiny is hidden in daily choices. Let's go deeper. Imagine you could meet your future self face to face. What would they say to you? Would they say, "Thank you for waking up early when you didn't feel like it. Thank you for studying when it was easier to scroll through your phone. Thank you for walking away from toxic people who were draining your energy. Thank you for saving money instead of wasting it. Because of you, I am living free, strong, and full of purpose"? Or would they look at you with tears in their eyes and say, "Why didn't you fight harder for me? Why did you keep putting off your dreams? Why did you waste years on things that never mattered? Because of your choices, I am living in regret." You see, we don't often realize this, but every decision has a witness, and the witness is our future self. The meals you eat, the habits you practice, the friends you surround yourself with, the books you read or ignore, the risks you take or avoid, they are all signing contracts with your tomorrow. You are either investing in your future self or creating debt your future self will have to pay. Look at athletes who rise to the top of their game. They don't live for today. They train when no one is watching. They sacrifice late nights so they can rise early. They skip pleasures others indulge in because they are loyal to their future self. And the world calls them talented, but what they really are is disciplined. They built a future self worth celebrating. But it's not only about health, money, or success. It's also about peace. Imagine yourself 5 years from now walking into your own home. Is it a place of chaos filled with arguments, clutter, and stress, or is it a sanctuary of peace, laughter, and love? That picture will not magically appear. It is the result of small daily decisions, choosing patience over anger, gratitude over complaining, intentional planning over careless living. The painful reality is that many people sabotage their future self because they are addicted to the comfort of today. They tell themselves, "I'll start tomorrow. I'll save next month. I'll eat better next week. I'll fix my marriage when things calm down." But tomorrow never comes for those who refuse to choose today. You are not waiting on a miracle. Your future is waiting on you. Every successful person you admire today is simply living in the house they built with their past decisions. Every struggling person you pity today is living in the house they neglected to build. You are constructing that house right now, brick by brick, choice by choice, habit by habit. Your future self will have no one else to thank or blame but you. So when you are tempted to quit, remember your future self is begging you to keep going. When you are tempted to spend recklessly, your future self is whispering, "Please save me from debt." When you are tempted to waste another day, your future self is shouting, "Please invest in me. Please choose me." Discipline is the language of destiny. Destiny does not speak comfort. It does not respond to laziness, and it does not bend to excuses. Destiny only understands one voice, and that voice is discipline. You can dream all day, you can talk about greatness all your life, you can pray for opportunities until your knees hurt, but if you don't live a disciplined life, your destiny will remain locked away. Discipline is the key that turns the door of potential into reality. Think about a student preparing for exams. Everyone else is partying, staying up late, and scrolling endlessly on their phones. But the disciplined student decides to sacrifice entertainment for a season. They stay up studying, they take notes, they rehearse, and they review. On the day of the exam, results separate the disciplined from the distracted. Was it because one student was smarter than the other? No, it was discipline that created distinction. Life is the same way. It is not the most talented who rise, but the most disciplined. Discipline means doing what you must do, not what you feel like doing. Feelings cannot be trusted. Your feelings will say, "Stay in bed a little longer." Your future says, "Get up, work on your dream." Your feelings will say, "Spend the money." Your future says, "Save it, invest it, build something greater." Your feelings will say, "Give up, it's too hard." Your future says, "Keep going. Every sacrifice will be worth it." Discipline is choosing your future over your feelings. Look at athletes again. They run when no one is cheering. They lift weights when no one is clapping. They eat carefully when others are indulging. People see the gold medal and call it glory. But what they don't see are the countless hours of hidden discipline that made the medal possible. Your destiny works the same way. The glory people will one day admire is built in secret through consistent, disciplined choices nobody applauds. Think of your body like a garden. Without discipline, Weeds of laziness, procrastination, and distraction will choke out the fruit of progress. With discipline, you pull out the weeds daily, water the soil, and protect what you planted. People will walk by your garden one day and say, "You are so lucky." But luck is just disciplined living that matured into visible success. Consider money. Discipline in finances means saying no to impulse spending, no to unnecessary debt, no to living only for today. It means planning, saving, investing, and delaying gratification. Most people don't have a money problem, they have a discipline problem. They earn enough to build a foundation, but because they lack discipline, their future self suffers poverty in the middle of potential. Discipline turns ordinary income into extraordinary stability. Relationships also rise or fall on discipline. It takes discipline to listen when you want to argue. It takes discipline to forgive when you feel justified in staying angry. It takes discipline to remain loyal when options and distractions surround you. Love is not sustained by feelings, it is sustained by discipline. That's why some couples grow stronger through challenges while others fall apart. The difference is not what happened to them, it is how disciplined they were in responding. Even your spiritual growth demands discipline. You cannot expect peace, strength, and clarity if you only seek wisdom when you are in crisis. Discipline means making time daily for reflection, learning, prayer, and growth. Just like your muscles grow through consistent training, your inner life grows through consistent discipline. Many people want strength without sacrifice, clarity without commitment, and blessings without boundaries. But life does not work that way. Discipline is the price tag of greatness. Think of discipline like a bridge. On one side is where you are today, your struggles, your habits, your comfort zone. On the other side is your destiny, your full potential, your success, your purpose. That bridge is called discipline. Without it, you cannot cross over. You will stand on the shore, staring at your dreams, wishing you could reach them, but wishes do not build bridges. Daily discipline does. Every successful person you admire has mastered this language. They wake up when others are still sleeping. They keep promises to themselves when no one is watching. They say no to distractions when others give in. They choose long-term vision over short-term pleasure. They don't always feel like it, but they understand destiny doesn't care about feelings. It only responds to discipline. Discipline may feel heavy in the moment, but regret weighs more. The pain of waking up early is nothing compared to the pain of wasted years. The sacrifice of saving money is nothing compared to the regret of poverty in old age. The discipline of saying no today is nothing compared to the regret of a life that never became what it could have been. Discipline is temporary pain that creates permanent gain. Regret is permanent pain that comes from temporary comfort. So when you feel the urge to quit, remind yourself every act of discipline is a brick in the house of your destiny. Every small choice to stay focused is a seed planted in your future. Every time you choose sacrifice over comfort, you are writing a future where your name carries weight, where your life carries impact, where your destiny becomes reality. The greatest enemy of your future is not failure, it is comfort. Failure can teach you, it can shape you, it can make you stronger, but comfort will slowly strangle your destiny without you even noticing. Comfort feels good now, but it robs you later. Comfort is the soft pillow that whispers, stay here, don't stretch, don't push, don't risk. And while you are listening to its voice, time is slipping through your hands. Your dream doesn't die overnight. It dies quietly in the arms of comfort. Think about the gym. The hardest part is not lifting the weights, it's getting out of bed. Your body says, stay here, rest, you deserve it. That voice of comfort seems so convincing. But the future version of you, the stronger, healthier, sharper version, is begging you to get up, to move, to sweat, to struggle a little today so tomorrow can be easier. Comfort says, don't go. Destiny says, go anyway. Consider students. A student who always chooses comfort, skipping classes, delaying assignments, sleeping through study sessions, ends up panicking when the exams come. Another student who chose discomfort early, who said no to comfort and yes to discipline, walks into the exam confident. It wasn't intelligence that separated them, it was the choice between comfort and sacrifice. Look at the stories of people you admire. Behind every success is someone who chose discomfort when it was painful. Entrepreneurs who worked late nights while their friends were partying. Athletes who pushed their bodies beyond the limit while others enjoyed relaxation. Leaders who studied while others slept. Comfort would have robbed them all, but they refused to let it. The danger of comfort is that it disguises itself as safety. It makes you believe you are secure because you feel good in the moment. But security built on comfort is false. Imagine someone sitting on a couch all day because it feels safe and easy. They don't notice that while they sit, their muscles weaken, their opportunities vanish, their potential wastes away. Comfort says, you are safe. Reality says, you are stuck. The comfort zone is not a place, it is a trap. It convinces you that you are protecting yourself from risk, but in truth, you are protecting yourself from growth. Growth is uncomfortable. Learning something new stretches your mind. Starting a business risks your finances. Building relationships risks your emotions. Saying no to bad habits risks your pleasures. But everything you want is sitting on the other side of that discomfort. Think of the caterpillar in the cocoon. The transformation into a butterfly comes through struggle. If the cocoon were comfortable, the butterfly would never develop the strength to fly. Comfort would keep it crawling. The struggle makes the wings strong enough to carry it. And so it is with you. The pressure you avoid today is the very thing designed to prepare you for tomorrow. Look at how many people never fulfill their potential. It is not because they lacked ability. It is not because they didn't have dreams. It is because they chose comfort over calling. They wanted the reward without the work. They wanted the prize without the process. They wanted the success story without the sacrifice. Life does not work that way. Success is never discounted. It is never placed on clearance. It is never given to the comfortable. It is paid in full with discomfort, discipline, and determination. Think about money. Comfort says, buy it now. You deserve it. Destiny says, save it now, invest it now. Your future deserves it. Comfort says, take the easy job, even if it doesn't grow you. Destiny says, step into the harder path, the one that stretches you, the one that demands more but gives more back. Comfort is short-term gain for long-term loss. Destiny is short-term sacrifice for long-term greatness. Consider health again. Comfort says, eat the cake, drink the soda, skip the workout. Destiny says, respect your body, treat it like the vessel of your purpose. Comfort says, one more hour on the couch. Destiny says, one more hour of progress. Comfort destroys silently. Destiny builds silently. Both are invisible in the moment, but over years, one leaves you with regret, the other leaves you with reward. And here's the most dangerous part. Comfort never feels dangerous. Nobody feels pain while choosing comfort. That's why so many fall into the trap. It feels harmless, but it's slowly building chains you won't be able to break later. Comfort creates habits, and habits create prisons. The longer you sit in comfort, the harder it becomes to rise. You become addicted to easy, addicted to safe, addicted to average. And average is the enemy of greatness. Your dream requires discomfort. Your destiny requires risk. Your calling requires you to step out of the easy and into the uncertain. That's where growth lives. That's where power grows. That's where transformation happens. Every time you feel the pull of comfort, you must remind yourself, this feeling is a thief. Comfort is not your friend, it is your enemy. It is not protecting you, it is stealing from you. Clarity creates power. A confused mind cannot build anything lasting. Confusion wastes energy, scatters focus, and weakens potential. But when you are clear, when you know exactly what you want, exactly who you are, and exactly where you are going, suddenly your life begins to gather momentum. Clarity is like light. It reveals the path, it exposes the obstacles, and it strengthens your direction. Without it, you stumble in the dark, moving in circles, mistaking activity for progress. With it, you walk with confidence, you move with purpose, and every step has meaning. Think about a magnifying glass. When you hold it under the sun, the light is scattered everywhere. But when you tilt it just right and the rays become focused, that same light that felt weak suddenly has the power to burn paper. The energy was always there, but focus turned it into fire. That is the difference between an unclear life and a clear life. Unclear energy spreads thin, but focused clarity becomes fire. Many people are living scattered lives, busy from morning to night, but not effective. They confuse motion with progress. They run around doing everything, but at the end of the year, nothing changes. Why? Imagine driving in heavy fog. You move slowly, cautiously, unsure of the road ahead. Even if you press the accelerator, you cannot move fast because you cannot see clearly. Life without clarity is like living in fog. You cannot accelerate toward your purpose. But the moment the fog lifts, the moment clarity arrives, you hit the gas, and suddenly you can cover more ground in minutes than you did in hours. That's the power of clarity. It multiplies speed. Daily life proves this. A person who wakes up without clarity wastes hours scrolling through their phone, reacting to whatever comes their way, pulled in 100 directions. Another person wakes up with clarity. They know what their priorities are. They know what needs to be done, and they focus on it. By evening, the first person is exhausted but empty, while the second is tired but fulfilled. The difference was not intelligence or luck. It was clarity. Clarity comes when you define what you want. Too many people never decide. They say, I want to be successful. But what does that mean? Success in what? Success by whose standard? Until you define it, you will keep chasing shadows. Another person says, I want to be wealthy. But what does wealthy mean to you? $10,000, $1 million, enough to retire comfortably. If you cannot define it, you cannot design it. Vague goals produce vague lives. Clear goals produce clear results. Look at athletes again. A runner who knows their finish line runs with determination. They pace themselves, they ignore distractions, and they conserve energy for the right moment. But imagine a runner with no finish line. They would wander, they would tire out, they would lose motivation. Because how can you run with passion if you don't know where the race ends? Life is the same. Without clarity, you run without reward. Clarity also creates confidence. When you are clear about your vision, people cannot easily sway you. Without clarity, every opinion becomes your direction. You live your life by other people's voices, not your own conviction. That's why many end up in jobs they hate, relationships that drain them, and environments that limit them because they lacked clarity. The moment you become clear, you stop living on demand and start living on design. Think about a student choosing a career path. Without clarity, they jump from one subject to another, wasting years, wasting energy, wasting tuition fees. Another student gains clarity early. They know their strengths, their passion, their vision, and they invest deeply in one direction. Years later, the difference is evident. One is still searching, the other is already thriving. Clarity also brings peace. Confusion is stressful. Uncertainty breeds anxiety. When you are unclear, you doubt yourself, you second guess, you live in fear of making mistakes. But when you are clear, you rest in your decision. You may still face challenges, but you face them with direction. Peace is not the absence of problems, it is the presence of clarity in the middle of problems. Look at money again. People without financial clarity spend recklessly because they have no vision for their money. People with clarity tell their money where to go. They budget, they plan, they invest with purpose. Over time, one ends up drowning in debt, the other ends up building wealth. The difference was not income, it was clarity. Clarity is not something you wait for, it is something you decide. Some people are waiting for life to hand them clarity like a package. But clarity doesn't come to those who wait, it comes to those who choose. You get clear by asking the right questions. What do I want? Why do I want it? What am I willing to sacrifice for it? What values will I never compromise? Once you answer these questions, your vision becomes sharper. It is like cleaning a dirty window. At first, everything outside looks blurry, but as you wipe away the dirt, the picture sharpens. The dirt is your distractions, your fears, your indecision. The cleaning is your decision-making, your reflection. Once the glass is clean, you see clearly, and what you see clearly, you can pursue confidently. Clarity creates focus, focus creates consistency, and consistency creates power. When your mind is clear, your energy is aligned, and when your energy is aligned, your life becomes unstoppable. Clarity is the foundation on which power is built. Without it, you will forever be busy but never effective, always moving but never arriving, always dreaming but never building. Life does not change because we want it to. Life changes because we decide it must. You are not a prisoner of your past, you are an architect of your future. The choices you make today are drawing the blueprint of the life you will live tomorrow. Every step you take is either building your destiny or burying it. And here is the truth that separates the ordinary from the extraordinary. Ordinary people wait for opportunities. Extraordinary people create them. The great tragedy of life is not that people die, but that they die without ever living. Too many go to their graves full of dreams they never pursued, businesses they never started, books they never wrote, songs they never sang, ideas they never birthed. The cemetery is the richest place on earth because it is filled with unused potential. Don't let your dreams become part of that collection. Don't let the soil of the earth receive the treasure God placed inside you. You were born to release it while you are alive. You must reach a point where you tell yourself, enough is enough. I will not live another year on autopilot. I will not keep repeating the same cycle, waiting for something magical to happen. I will take responsibility. I will choose the plan. I will honor my future self. That is the language of champions. Right? Champions are not people who never failed. Champions are people who refuse to quit. Champions are people who kept showing up when no one was watching. Champions are people who sacrifice comfort for calling and convenience for conviction. You must understand the pain of discipline weighs ounces, but the pain of regret weighs tons. Every day you put off your purpose, you are choosing the heavier pain. Every excuse you give today becomes a prison tomorrow. But every sacrifice you make today becomes freedom tomorrow. Success is not a miracle, it is the harvest of discipline, the reward of consistency, the outcome of clarity. If you do not sacrifice for what you want will become the sacrifice. Look at history, every name we admire, every leader we respect, every innovator who transformed the world had one thing in common: they refused to settle. They saw something greater than their present circumstances, and they pursued it with everything inside them. They woke up early, they stayed up late, they endured criticism, they overcame rejection, and they pushed through failure. While others slept, they built. While others complained, they created. While others feared, they dared. That is why their names are remembered. And if you dare to live with the same mindset, your name too will carry weight. The future is not some distant land you stumble into. It is a house you build with the bricks of daily choices. Every yes and every no is a brick. Every hour spent wisely or wasted is a brick. Every habit you practice is a brick. One day you will walk into the house you built, whether it is a palace of purpose or a prison of regret. You cannot escape it. You will live in what you built. That is why today matters. That is why right now matters. Your destiny is not waiting for perfect conditions. If you keep waiting for the perfect moment, you will wait forever. There is no perfect time to start. The perfect time is when you decide. The only thing standing between where you are and where you could be is the courage to start, the discipline to continue, and the vision to see it through. Stop saying one day. Stop saying tomorrow. Tomorrow is a thief. Tomorrow is a lie. Tomorrow will always steal from you if you keep giving it power. The power is in today. So rise up, take ownership of your life, put your future self first, choose the plan, walk with clarity, live with discipline, break free from comfort, step into the fire of growth, and never forget the world does not respond to what you intend. It responds to what you do. Your intention means nothing until it becomes action.